Welcome back to another enlightening episode of Learning Kudwa. I'm your host Liam, and today we have a guest who's so good at giving counsel that he once convinced a stubborn coffee machine to make tea. Meet Lorenzo, our counseling expert extraordinaire.
Thanks for having me, Liam. And I just want to set the record straight. The coffee machine just needed its boiler cleaned and a few pods changed. But actually, on a serious note, that coffee machine just needed some love and attention and a bit of steering in the right direction.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to be diving into today. We're going to talk about the art of giving counsel. Not just any counsel, we're talking about effective counsel that can change behavior, attitude, and performance in the workplace.
Absolutely, Liam. You know, in the world of management, there's often more myths about counseling than there are actual cups of coffee or tea. And some of these myths are, well, a bit frothy.
A bit frothy. So get ready, people, because today we're going to be busting those myths wide open and replacing them with some real world wisdom on how to win hearts and effect positive change.
Yeah, and we're going to uncover the true meaning of the word counsel, going beyond just giving advice, diving deep into the depths of guidance, purpose, and steering people in the right direction. And seeing managers and people alike are very anxious when they hear the word counsel. It's often the case because counsel is so closely connected to the disciplinary process.
Yeah, and that's why it does have the tendency to leave a bitter taste in the mouth of many people. So whether you're a seasoned manager or you're just beginning your leadership journey, you are in for a treat. So stick around as we turn the page on some myths, get rid of these old ideas, and set the course for some practical, enlightening counsel that will leave you saying,
come on, you say, I could wait.
I could wait. I can't get behind that one yet.
We'll just do it.
I will eventually. Hopefully you guys like it.
Well, let's get started, Liam.
Yeah, let's get started. Thank you. So let's get into our first segment. We're going to tackle the myths and failures of negative counseling. Now, we've all been there, haven't we? The dreaded sit down. It feels more like a showdown between two people.
Yeah, I know that feeling, eh? This is trying to steer a ship through stormy waters without a compass.
So get ready, people. The ship analogies are coming in early and they're coming in hot throughout the whole episode, but it's fine. We like it.
It's going to be a fun one, man.
Yeah, it's going to be. So we're going to break down some of these myths. Our first myth is that counseling is just about reprimanding and punishment.
Yeah, myth one is a classic. You know, Liam, it's as if some managers think that they're auditioning for the world's toughest boss reality show.
Yeah, and let's be real. Can you actually motivate someone by throwing a thunderstorm of criticism at them, highlighting just their mistakes and their incompetences that you found?
I think you can motivate them to rewrite their resume and leave your organization.
Probably that's about it though, eh? So that's so true. Our second myth is that counseling is a one-way conversation.
That's myth number two, eh? It's that myth that says we're going to talk at them rather than to them. It's like trying to steer a car by pushing it from behind.
Yeah, or attempting to set sail without a sail. So let's be serious now. Counseling isn't just about telling. It's about listening too.
It's a two-way street, and if you're not hearing what's happening on the other side, from the other person's point of view, then it's like sailing off course. You're not going to know where you're going. And I know I've heard this manager say, but I've asked him to tell me what's wrong. And then all I get is silence. Or I get this attitude that says, I don't really care.
Yeah, that's such a tough one to experience, eh? But we'll definitely address the reason for that a bit later on. Myth number three, our last and certainly not our least one. Counseling is all about criticism without any constructive feedback.
Yeah, it's a thing called critique and then critique some more.
Brilliant strategy.
Yeah, it's like steering a ship without any navigation charts. As a manager, you need to know where you want to go. You need to know what the desired outcomes are, and you need to know how to chart that course, but you can't do it if you don't listen.
Yeah, you know, it's like that GPS that just tells you that you're lost. No one wants that kind of a GPS. And can we really expect people to improve if all they hear is what they are doing wrong all the time?
Absolutely not. It's like expecting a coffee machine to make tea without changing the settings, the pod, or the filter paper.
Yeah, exactly. So these myths, as I'm sure you have gauged from what we've been saying so far, are not the path to effective counsel. It's time to steer away. The ship analogies are coming, guys. That's all I'm saying. It's time to steer away towards a brighter and more productive approach.
Let's set that positive course.
Yeah, so we're going to peel back the layers of this onion and rediscover the true meaning of the word counsel. The debut to our myth-busting introduction has revealed that counseling instills fear in many managers and the employees that they are required to counsel. I'm sure you can agree with this from your own personal experiences. We also learned that the strong association of the idea of counseling is linked to this disciplinary process, and that's the part that raises the anxiety in the room.
Yeah, eh? In fact, we're going to learn that counseling is not just a buzzword for advice or course correcting, trying to correct people's behavior. It has deeper meaning. And it is, and quite rightly should be, connected to that word or process called discipline. And when we learn the fundamental meaning of counseling and its intent, it's like discovering that that fancy sandwich shop also has a huge delicatessen of sweet desserts.
Yeah, we got a whole lot of illustrations for you guys today, so you're going to enjoy that.
We're having fun, man.
Yeah, we are. So, where does the word counsel come from? What is its origins?
The root meaning of the word counsel comes from Greece, ancient Greece, in Greek and Latin words, and in fact, its true meaning means to guide or to steer.
Yeah, so now you have some logic about our ship analogy or sailing analogy, where it's coming from. So it's not just about advice, if we think about the origin of the word. It's about guiding someone in the correct direction, like being a navigator on a ship.
It's about setting a clear course, providing purpose, and setting strong intention.
Yeah, and this has real world implications, because when you counsel someone, it's not just about the words that you use, it's about the direction that you're setting.
Yeah, it's about purposeful steering. It's realizing that you're not just making coffee, you're making a caffeinated masterpiece.
A masterpiece. So this deeper meaning of the word counsel emphasizes that it's not just about advice, it's about intention and it's about purpose.
Absolutely. And understanding this can be a game changer for all of us as managers. In fact, the same is true for the association to the connected word that is called discipline.
Would you mind elaborating on that for us a bit?
Yeah, no, for sure. You see, like counsel, discipline is often misunderstood. Many parents and managers have the incorrect conception of this word discipline. Often when we hear the word discipline, we in fact hear the word punishment. And that also, raises a lot of fear in many of those being counseled and disciplined. Liam, I want to ask you, what comes to mind when you hear the word discipline?
Yeah, so I'd like to refer perhaps to a dictionary definition of the word discipline. And one dictionary defines discipline as the practice of making people obey rules or standards of behavior and punishing them when they do not obey the rules.
Now, we can't dispute that dictionary definition is wrong, because it is correct.
It is.
But it's not complete. And it's often in that definition where the problem lies.
Yeah, so it's getting a bit interesting now. Eh? So are you saying, or do you believe rather, that it has a different meaning?
Yeah. Well, just look at the word discipline. Think about it. Consider its root. And its root comes from the Latin word discipulus, which really means pupil, student, or follower. In English, we know of a similar word written in discipline called disciple, which actually means one who follows another for the purpose of learning. It incorporates ideas like learning, including grasping intellectual concepts, teaching someone to follow rules and guidelines and instructions.
So what you're saying is discipline has many aspects. It has guidance, it has instruction, training, reproof, correction, even at times punishment. However, in each case, discipline is or should be motivated by love and concern for another person, and its goal is to benefit the recipient. Even corrective discipline is never for the sole purpose of just punishment.
I don't think any of our managers out there thought you'd use the word love with discipline or counsel. Eh? But you've got it right. And when counsel and discipline is done correctly and with the right motives, it benefits the recipient for the long term. And that recipient comes to appreciate its rewards.
Yeah, absolutely. So next time you find yourself in a counseling session, remember, it's not just advice. It's about guiding, steering, and setting a purposeful course.
It's about helping others navigate the workplace waters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So now that we've uncovered the true essence of the word counsel, it's time to roll up our sleeves. We're going to get into it, and we're going to show you how you can win the hearts of people and effect positive change.
You're right, Liam. And folks, if you're thinking, well, I'm not a therapist, I'm just a manager, we are managers too, I want you to think again. Effective counseling requires work. It's hard work, but it's a vital tool and skill for all managers to learn and practice.
Yeah, 100%. So our first step is to build trust. It's like the foundations of this strong ship that we've been analogizing here. Hey? Without it, you'll sink faster than the lead anchor.
Trust is everything, Liam. If your team doesn't trust you, they won't follow you. And then it'll be like steering a ship with mutiny on board.
Oh, no one wants a mutiny. Hey? It's not a pleasant journey. We've all seen that in the movies. So how do we build trust, Lorenzo?
Well, trust is not complex. Well, sometimes it can be complex, but it starts simply with honesty. It means being transparent, admitting your mistakes, and showing that you have the best interest at heart of those whom you lead. It's like being a lighthouse that guides ships safely through the night.
Yeah, I'm loving this analogy, hey Lorenzo.
It's working, eh?
It's working. I hope it's working. So step 2 is active listening. It's not just about talking, people. It's about hearing what's beneath the surface.
Exactly. It's like having a sonar below deck, detecting hidden obstacles underwater. You need to listen, deeply listen for their concerns, their needs, and their aspirations. Now, this is such an important point, and I cannot stress it enough. If the recipients of counseling does not believe that you are genuinely interested in them as a person, if you're not interested in truly helping them, it creates an environment of fear. And they worry that this process is going to lead to rank and yank. Yeah, remember that we touched on it in episode 9. And if you want to find out more about ranking and yanking, please go and have a look at the description in the comments below.
So that moves us on now to step 3, which is providing support. You know, it's not enough to just diagnose the issue. You need to offer a remedy as well.
You're absolutely right. It's about being the ship's mechanic who not only identifies the problems but willing to fix it. Managers need to provide actionable, supportive solutions.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Lorenzo. Effective counseling is not a one-time thing, hey? It's an ongoing, consistent process.
It seems like a lot of work, I know, eh? Who really wants to? Can't people just do their jobs? That's how most of us feel. But just like a ship needs maintenance, we as managers are the primary maintenance managers of our people. Unfortunately, as a manager, as long as we are working with human beings, we'll have to learn that humans need constant and consistent maintenance. Since we all have a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical makeup that needs to be clean, polished, supported, and grown. And as managers, that is the work that we have to do.
Yeah, 100%. So whether you're counseling someone to improve their performance, change their attitude, to adjust their behavior, remember these steps. Build trust, actively listen, and provide ongoing support.
Be that captain that guides your ship through any storm with the people that you lead, keeping them all safe on board so that we can all have a successful voyage to the destination.
Yeah, so far we've unraveled this art of effective counseling. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. We're going to give you some practical tips for you everyday managers.
Yeah, you got this, Liam. These tips are like the tools in your ship's toolbox, essential for a smooth journey.
Yeah, right. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is creating a safe space for open communication. It's like having a clear, calm sea for your ship to sail on.
Yeah, we have to encourage our team and individuals on our team who are the recipients of this counsel to share their thoughts, their ideas, and their concerns without fear of judgment. It's like having an open, notice not the open door, having an open deck policy. Well, actually, you're on a ship, right? It's like having an open deck for discussions. And did you notice another little gem there?
Yeah, our advice is adequate for both individual and team settings.
Yeah, wonderful. Since all of our Kudwa advice is in itself counsel to you, it is also principle-centered, which means it's not merely situational, but it's wide and far-ranging. It's useful in different ways, only if you have a deeper understanding of the principle itself. And we're going to be teaching a lot more about principles. I'm so excited for that episode that's coming in the near future.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. So our second tip is to be empathetic and understanding. It's like knowing the rough waters that you're navigating.
What can I say? Empathy is a key.
It is.
Try to see things, and that's really what empathy means. Try to see things from the perspective of another person. Put yourself in their shoes, acknowledge their feelings, and if you do that, it's like an anchor that supports the ship to get things done.
Yeah, absolutely. So tip number 3 is to celebrate progress and recognize achievements. It's like raising that flag once you've reached another milestone.
Yeah, positive reinforcement is powerful. When your team makes progress and achieves their goals, even minor accomplishments, acknowledge it and celebrate it. It's powerful. It's like hoisting the victory flag on your ship's mast.
Here's a bonus tip, and not one to be forgotten. You need to be consistent in your counsel.
Consistency is another key. It's like a steady wind in your sails. Think of consistency moving the ship forward steadily, reaching your destination.
So, to all of our managers out there, remember these practical tips. Create a safe space, be empathetic, celebrate progress, and stay consistent.
And it still seems like it's a lot of hard work, but effective counsel is not just a one-time event. It's a continuous journey. And even though it seems like hard work, those who persevere will reap the rewards.
Yeah, 100%.
But just hang on there for a moment, Liam. What was that model you kept using to illustrate some of the core skills and tips that we showed on screen?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you noticed. I didn't realize you did, but it's the first time we're actually introducing one of our own Kudwa tools for you managers out there. And the one that we've been using today is the Kudwa TRI model, or Trust Reputation Index model.
Wonderful. I'm so excited. But we've just given them a small taste or glimpse of this model. How does it work?
Yeah, so most of our Kudwa models are frameworks that demystify hard to understand leadership concepts, and we put them into a framework that managers can apply very easily into their daily management experience. These frameworks explain the way things are and the way things work.
Yeah, that's what Learning Kudwa is about. We want to help you managers learn these frameworks so that you can apply it and you can reap the rewards. But I guess you'll have to keep tuning into our channel to learn more. But Liam, come on. Can we show them just a little bit about this model? A little bit more. Can you give them some overview or insight?
Okay, fine. Since you asked so nicely, I think we'll give them a little bit. So, if we think about trust, it's an equation that has 3 variables: personal credibility, relationship credibility, and leadership credibility. Looking at personal credibility, this really relates to you being exemplary, which means that you are an example that's worthy of the imitation of others. Relationship credibility really relates to being a good partner. You need to ask yourself, am I a partner whom others can rely on? And the third part of this equation, leadership credibility, relates to your ability to influence people. Do you have the leadership skills to help others commit to a cause and to make things happen? That's our Trust Reputation Index model right there, very briefly.
Well, that's awesome. And in fact, we're going to spend a lot more time explaining this model, diving deep into all the variables, factors, and indicators. In fact, you're going to get a maths lesson on trust.
Yeah, brilliant, eh? Quite an interesting equation we have there. So this brings us to the end of today's voyage. The ship analogy is not over just yet into the world of effective counseling. It's been an incredible journey, Lorenzo. What do you say?
Yeah, we've covered the myths, we've rediscovered the meaning of counsel, and of course the word discipline, and shared some practical tips that any manager can use to navigate life's complexities in their workplace.
Yeah, everything we've said today all comes down to this. Counseling is not just about advice. It's about guidance, it's about purpose, it's about steering people towards success.
Yeah, and as managers, when we approach counseling with trust, empathy, and commitment with ongoing support, we can truly make a positive impact on our teams.
Yeah, so whether you're helping someone to improve their productivity, change their behavior, adjust their attitude, remember, effective counseling is about winning hearts and setting a purposeful course.
I swear this is the last time I'm going to say this. It's about being the captain of your team's success, steering them towards smoother waters.
Well said, Lorenzo. So, to all our viewers out there, thank you so much for joining us on this enlightening journey. We're done with the ship analogies now. It's over. So, don't forget that we are going to be sharing many more helpful videos for you managers navigating the world of leadership. Okay, it wasn't over just yet. But leadership, trust, productivity, and growth. So if you want to learn more principles or more principle-centered truths about how to get the most out of your people, how to get the most out of your systems using our learning Kudwa approach, stay tuned to our channel.
Yeah, I think the point is made with all of that analogies and illustrations. That counsel is about steering, guiding with good intent, with good motive, and with heart. And so, what can we say? Goodbye. Stay tuned to our Learning Kudwa channel. We've got so much more to offer you. We'd love to see you back soon.